Oh boy. Toys for Bob has teased Wumpa League. Again. What is happening with this game? Why are the teases so drawn out? Well, I may have figured out why. Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with another Wumpa League video. Wumpa League has begun to sound like nails on a chalkboard for some fans. People have commented numerous times, this is becoming tiring, and you're right, because it is tiring. We had our first official hint all the way back at the end of November 2020. A year and a couple months later, and we still haven't seen any official confirmation of Wumpa League. We've had hints though, so many hints. From Pollyanna himself, from PlayStation to the anniversary package, interview with devs, to a Christmas package, so on and so forth. So, guess what Toys for Bob did? They teased us. Again, there's two possible teases here, but the second one is pretty tinfoil hatty. So we'll look at the more confirmed one. Toys for Bob released this image on St. Patrick's Day. This is an image based off of art in the Crash Bandicoot 4 art book. The post says, "Happy St. Patrick's Day. Try to find all the 4-leaf clovers, but only if you're feeling lucky." And if you look at the entire picture, you can start to see the 4-leaf clovers. There's nothing suspicious at all with this image, right? Right? Just harmless fun. It turns out it's not just harmless fun. Take a look at this robot arm. Do you notice anything? No? Let me zoom in. You see it yet? No, let's try one more time. See it now? Doesn't that gem platform ring any bells? Oh, right! It's the gem platform from the Wumpa League coin. The coin that we've seen in many previews the past couple of months. And just in case you thought it was in the original picture that was in the art book, take a look. It certainly is not. As for the second tease, Toys for Bob, the day before this post dropped, posted a TikTok showing a bunch of fun stuff in the Toys for Bob studio. But when we get to the arcade cabinets, we can see these two chairs. Now, at first glance, they're just chairs, but their colors are awfully familiar. When compared to the Wumpa League coin, not only do the colors seem related, but the placements of the colors of the chairs also match the coin. Again, it's definitely tinfoil hatty, but this isn't the first time Toys for Bob has done this. Remember their Welcome to Toys for Bob video that they posted on their YouTube channel when Spyro wasn't announced yet and we all were looking at Big Curious Visions and the video was chocked full of hints? Yeah. That video still haunts me to this day. But the narrative that some have been pushing is that simply Wumpa League is dead. But there is a question that needs to be asked, and the same question that's been on my mind since all these teases have started. Why would Toys for Bob specifically be teasing a game that they canceled all the way back in 2020? It makes zero sense. But on the other hand, why have we been seeing so many teases for this game? We know that the game initially was supposed to launch in October of 2021, according to this leaked production schedule. But of course, it's 2022, and there has been no official announcement. Yet, after the supposed release date had come and go, we're still getting teases for the game? What gives? Well, I want you to join in my thought bubble here, because there is a bit of a rabbit hole to go down. A couple months back, I made a video about Wumpa League that basically boiled everything down that we knew about the game to determine what the gameplay would look like. From tidbits in the code, secret found audio, to even concept art. What we basically determined was that the game was about two teams collecting Wumpa fruit that were alive. After collecting some of the Wumpa fruit, you would bank the Wumpa fruit in your team's bank, scoring points. You also need to try and stop the enemy team from collecting fruit using numerous gadgets and abilities. The team with the most points wins. Think of Pokemon Unite. Now, after I posted that video, I went to the comments and, well, there were a lot of people that actually were not thrilled about the idea of the gameplay. I mean, a lot of people weren't thrilled. Here's the thing. Toys for Bob is filled to the brim with more than capable developers. If you, the viewers, recognize that a game is not fun, Toys for Bob is going to be the first to know. Now, I want you to look at the very first teases that we got of Wumpa League initially. The very first one was when we hit 106% and hit the TV. On the 5th spin, we got a blip of the Wumpa League logo. Then we had this Uncharted post with a Wumpa League banner in the background. And that was it. There were other things that we found in concept art that was indirect and implied something to do with Wumpa League, but in terms of official, direct references, those were the only two. Now remember how I just said that Toys for Bob would be able to see if a game wasn't fun? Well, that is probably exactly what happened. We know that there were layoffs in November, so we can kind of assume that that was when the game was, well, put on ice, shelved, frozen, stopped, paused, whatever term you want to call it. However, when the game had halted development, it was exactly when we found out details about it. Now, after we had our initial 2 teases, we didn't hear or see anything else in terms of direct references to Wumpa League for a very long time. We started to believe that maybe Wumpa League could have been canned permanently. But then, in July of 2021, Pollyann hosted a GDC talk and probably dropped the biggest hints ever. First, see these post-it notes? We literally can see Wumpa League on one of them, but it's partially hidden. And none of the other post-it notes were partially covered. They are all clear as crystal. Only that post-it note was partially covered. On top of that, we even had a no context cropped image of official Wumpa League concept that was literally in the GDC talk that Pollyann just decided to ignore. It was literally in the slideshow and he just like, not gonna talk about that. We're just gonna pop that there and just move on. Then the teases started to ramp up again right after that talk, with the big ones coming in the PlayStation Showcase and the packages that Activision sent out to multiple influencers. Along with all these teases, we started to see a new Wumpa League logo. But why change the logo of a game that's not coming? Now, a new piece of evidence has also surfaced from an Australian kids magazine, K-Zone. This was discovered by Orange Crush. Their channel is in the description below and was sent over to me by Benny, a follower of the channel. In the gaming section of their magazine, in February of 2022, they had an interview with Paul Yan, the creative and co-studio head at Toys for Bob. Overall, the questions are pretty light, as it's only a kids magazine, but Paul's answer to the final question had piqued my interest. Let's take a read. Can you tease any future Crash projects? I can't say much, but we're excited for Crash's future, and we'll let you know when we're ready to share about what we're experimenting with. The way this is worded is very, very interesting. We're excited about Crash's future, implying that there is more content to come, followed by, we'll let you know if we're ready to share about what we're experimenting with. When I think of experimenting within the gaming space, it makes me think of trying something new, as in something that hasn't been tried before in the Crash Bandicoot space. Kind of like, you know, a free-to-play online Crash game. But again, we are seeing evidence that, at the bare-boned minimum, something is still in development for Crash Bandicoot. But this still doesn't explain why we have been teased for so long in regards to Wumpa League. Here's the thing. I think we've been looking at this all wrong. I think I know the reason why these teases have been going on for so long. So let me explain the grand summary of what I think happened leading up to October 2020 and beyond. Wumpa League was in development alongside Crash Bandicoot 4. This is evidenced by the leaked production schedule. However, they were struggling with the game's concept. It wasn't really working and everyone could see it, likely including the Activision heads. This is evidenced by, well, us hearing of its concept and many of us not being overly thrilled about it. If we aren't thrilled, then Toys for Bob probably isn't either. So when the development of Crash 4 had ended, Wumpa League was kind of in development limbo, and so Activision did not renew a bunch of contractors and let them go while the team internally figured out what to do with Wumpa League. You could say that it needed more time to cook. However, because the project was paused right after the release of Crash 4, the 2 teases that were set up were still sent out. And that's when we discovered its existence, right when the project was halted. Talk about poor timing. Now, during this time between December 2020 and July 2021, the team internally at Toys for Bob were still figuring out how to salvage the game. And in that period, they struck a new idea that seems to have worked. And so, knowing how keen Crash and Spyro fans are, the teasing started back up again. And this is still continuing to even today. To add to the mountainous amounts of hints that we had gotten, Pollyann talking about Crash's future being bright and can't wait to show what they've been experimenting in regards to his future tells me that there is more content on the way. Pollyann also being the one to drop the 2 gigantic hints at the 2021 GDC talk, and the Wumpa League being something completely new for Crash, it makes me think that he is referring to Wumpa League. We've been looking at the Wumpa League teases as one giant marketing tease, when in fact, it actually is seemingly 2 separate marketing teases. One that had just started, but then immediately ended due to the project going on ice. And the other was when the project was rejigged and started back up again. When that exactly was, we don't know. But it was between December of 2020 and July of 2021. We are seeing it as one big tease, when in reality we should be seeing it as if the teasing started in July of 2021, when the project seemingly had restarted production. At this point, that's about 8 months of teasing instead of almost, well, 2 years. But still, why are we seeing so much teasing? 1, the reason why is because, well, obviously, there still is a game and it exists. But 2, it's no secret that the entire production of this game has basically been an open book leading up to when it was put on ice. And let me tell you something, it paints a very negative picture, and it has been a very negative subject among the Crash Bandicoot community over time. And Toys for Bob knows all of this and can see this. All they gotta do is go to Reddit, go to Twitter, go to anywhere on social media. So, to try to keep the positivity and discussion up, while also slingshotting the marketing this type of situation brings, they keep dropping tiny references and teases to keep people talking about Wumpa League, giving people hope that at least something is coming. So, when are we going to see it? Well, we can't know for certain. We don't know how much was salvaged from the previous project. We don't know if they're starting from scratch or if they can reuse most of the assets. It could be similar to what we extrapolated before, or it could be completely different now. Heck, it might not even be called Wumpa League anymore. But the point is, something is coming. And that something is Crash Bandicoot related. So make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for more hints, teases, and updates as they come out.